This video chart presentation of First Star Resources brought to you by allpenny.stocks.com. First Star trades on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the ticker FS. It's a very interesting chart because you can see holding a strong base through here over the last several months dating back into March. It seems to have found a bottom, trending sideways but with a slight uptrend to it. And that's what makes it interesting because miners have really been taking a hit, and yet First Star is holding this baseline. You can see overall this is what's considered a positive divergence. Price per share has been trending down. MACD trending right back up near the money line. You can see it's kind of squeezing back down right on top of the zero barrier at this point. So this becomes very interesting to see if it's going to hold this trend and try and make a move and bounce off a zero or not. You can see it reflected a little bit better in the PPO, very similar look. Still making a strong uptrend. Even if it wants to dip a little lower, I want to see it hold that trend line, then come through and try and make a new higher high. ADX is down low. I'm just looking for higher lows at this point. Plenty of room for this to try and make a move, though. Because it's just basing, you're not going to get a lot from it. Followers of our charts know that I'll like these last few months of the MFI. Majority of the time holding the upper half of the indicator. That's a bullish indication. You see the accumulation distribution still hasn't recovered from this dip right through here. That would lead me to believe there was a couple days of pretty good volume selling, although it wasn't really detrimental to the price per share. As you can tell, the channel was still held. But again, you just look for some basic things. If this is going to try and make a climb, look for some base levels to hold. Look for uptrends to start. Taking money flow, of course, there was a selling pressure. It was starting to move up into the green. All the indicators you can see kind of took a little bit of a dive right in this area just about a month ago. And very similar to everything else. Just look for bases. Look for new uptrends to start. Look for the recovery from this point. CCI just kind of hanging out middle of the road. Looks like it's making a higher low. It's also made a lower high. Again, we're just seeing a sideways channel, so we're going to see a lot of these indicators just kind of getting stuck in the middle as well. Same way with the full stow. Back down below 50, which you don't want to see. You want to see it trending on the upper half of the indicator. But at the same time, it's making a rotation right now. Could be ready to make another bullish cross. Again, pretty neutral. People know that I tend to look towards these longer term indicators of the MACD, the PPO, the tricks. And I look for channels and I look for trend lines. You can see the tricks kind of running very similar to the MACD and PPO. Holding an uptrend, holding around zero. RSI is near that 50 area. We referenced that plenty of times. That's a neutral spot. Not really a lot of momentum coming either direction on it. And of course, that would be expected with this price per share channeling sideways. What I'd look for on this, I'll throw this on here real quick just so you can see, basically making higher lows since this point, the end of February. Although it's not a completely distinct trend line. The way to really see it is that it's come off this 15-cent mark, climbed up, set up some support right here on 15.5, then moved up a little bit, held some support at 16, then moved up a little bit, held some support around 16.5, then moved up a little bit more again. Now it looks like it's trying to hold a support at 17. So it does pick up support a variety of ways throughout this channel. I'd look for that 15.5 to hold as bottom support, but even in the more near term, I'd want to see it hold 16. Hasn't closed below that level since the end of March. It continues to maintain higher lows. If it holds that, that'd be the first place I'd have my eyes for some support. As far as resistance goes, 18 is definitely some secondary resistance. Because of the channel, again, you get a lot of these things that just kind of stair step through it. A little bit more through there around 19. I'd expect the resistance to stiffen a little bit up here around 20 cents. You can see it hasn't moved above it. That's been the top side of the channel. Then that would be a key breakout point for me. Beyond that, again, it'll pick up a little bit more here at 22, but I think it'll really stiffen up here around 24 again. That's a top side resistance where I expect it to be much more difficult. 200-day moving average is coming down into play. Was a tough area of resistance right through there, 24, 24.5, back at the end of 2010 and early parts of 2011. So that'd be a key point. But again, this closed at 17 cents. It's obviously a very large move to there. So I just have my eye on this, try and baby step its way through it, see how it reacts to 20. If it can break through 20 and close above it, even if it wants to go up and challenge 21, 22, it doesn't really matter to me. If it wants to pull back, if it can hold 20 as support from that point forward, that's a very good sign that this could possibly be putting together an uptrend, identifying this as a true bottom play. A couple other quick notes. I like these moving averages are all tucked in together. 50-day moving average is now right there in the mix with the short terms. When you start to see moving averages bunching up together like this, it's something that should open your eyes up a little bit more to a potential move because moving averages tend to not want to trend side by side for very long. At this point, with some of these indicators kind of at some make or break points to hold some pretty bullish moves, that would further strengthen the idea that a potential move may be coming with the chart. Quick look at volume, 146,000 shares traded. That appears to be about average. But all in all, the FS chart has a pretty nice look to it, nice looking bottom play, and a pretty firm channel established. So now it goes on the watch. Let's see if it's going to try and make a run at the top side or not. But as always, this video chart is merely my interpretation. I'm not a financial consultant and strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence, consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure. Do not base any investment decisions upon any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching and trade smart.